What is going on in the Raleigh, North Carolina housing market? If we haven't met before, welcome. My name is Chelsea Winstead. I am a mortgage broker and a home financing strategist. I really dig into what is going on in all of the markets that I serve my clients in, and I get really granular and in the details with you. I think a huge missing component in the world of purchasing a home is that too many people are super quick to give you a pre approval without really explaining what your numbers mean, why it matters, and really how to be more strategic overall when it comes to purchasing a home. So, as we talk today, I'm going to go through essentially what is going on in Raleigh. I personally live in North Carolina, so this one hits very close to home. I have a lot of clients out of the Raleigh area. I travel there multiple times throughout the month for closing. And I really just want to dig into what's going on with pricings, trends, inventory listings. We're going to go through average days on market, home size. I do have notes here because we are going to get into a lot and I want to make sure none of my details are off. So let's just start off immediately and talk through some specific price points. All right. So right now, according to the latest data from Redfin and Realtor sources, median home price right now in Raleigh sits around 425 to 440,000, which is actually slightly lower than it was a year ago. So this is down about 5 to 6% year over year, which is really interesting. If you look at current listings, the median list price in the metro area is around 440. So bottom line here to note is that prices here aren't crashing, but they are definitely softening compared to last year, which means that you as a buyer have a ton of additional room for negotiation. I always say that anytime you see year over year prices coming down, that as a buyer should be a huge potential motivator to take action because that is truly where you are going to see the most bang for your buck as far as getting more from the listing party. So let's talk about current listings and inventory. Right now, inventory has grown compared to recent years, which is definitely a shift from our pandemic timeframe. According to the Federal Reserve data, there are about 4,700 active listings in Raleigh, which is noticeably higher than where we have been in previous tight inventory cycles. When we have an increase in inventory, this means number one, you have more options. This means number two, there's less pressure for you to make instant purchasing decisions. And then number three, this means that sellers really have to stay sharper, not only on their pricing, but also on their staging, because you as the buyer have more options now to pick through. Let's talk about average days on market. Okay. So overall, we've got a median of around 54 days on the market compared to roughly 39 days last year. Obviously, you guys, this is going to depend on the price point and what specific part of town we're referencing. But again, this isn't a frantic market like it was in 2020 or 2021. The fact that we have listings up, we have year over year prices going down, and we have average days on market going up, that again, these are all huge signs that you as a buyer have the benefit. Now, just a note, I wanted to add this in that most homes right now that are selling in Raleigh are considered moderately sized, which is between 2,000 and 2,500 square feet. This is a typical, what we would consider a single family home, specifically range in the suburban parts of the city. Year over year, price changes. Again, median and average prices are down. Again, this is again signaling that you're going to have more negotiation opportunities, which is huge. Let's talk about some specific buyer versus sellers markets and certain neighborhood leaning one way or the other. Okay. What I mean by buyer versus seller, typically when you are in a buyer's market, that means that you as a buyer have more power, more leverage, more negotiation. When we're in a seller's market, which we saw during the pandemic era, you are more at the whim of what the seller wants. So that often means that you've got multiple offer scenarios. That often means that you're going against cash offers. That often means that people are waiving appraisals. That's where things get really crazy. So let's talk about different areas in Raleigh and what to expect. So we've got a couple seller leaning pockets. Okay, so this is North Hills and different parts of central Raleigh. Why is that there's just always consistent demand here, and definitely also some historic neighborhoods that have really unique homes often get picked up really quickly because there's just not a lot of them. And so when they do come available, people swoop them up really quickly. We've got some buyer leaning or balanced pockets though. So these are some outer areas around I-540 where inventory is a little bit more plentiful. Also, price bands where homes have sat longer or price reductions are more common. So overall, what to know and some like major things I want you to remember if you're looking to buy in Raleigh. Number one, compared to last year, you have a lot more leverage than where we were sitting a year ago. Number two, homes are not flying off the market immediately. So that allows you to make smarter decisions. So overall, we have a lot of buyer data that is supporting that it is more of a buyer's market for most people. Okay. We've got home prices coming down year over year. We have more inventory available than last year. We have homes sitting on the market for longer. These are all major indicators that we are sitting in a buyer's market for the most part. Okay. Now, this is what I always say. If you're looking to buy, what you really need to have is a game plan, is a strategy. I think far too often people assume, oh, I'm going to buy in a buyer's market, and they just assume that you're going to get a deal. People who get deals are people who are prepared. Okay. So that means that what you need to be doing is at least 6 months before you want to make a purchase, like move into the home, we need to be having a conversation, running the numbers, figuring out what price point you need to be at to actually fit within your budget that's going to feel good. From there, once we confirm what your price point is going to be, I will match you up directly with a top buyer's agent in Raleigh. I work with a lot of amazing people. So, really, depending on you, your personality, what kind of home you're looking to buy, what part of the city you're looking to buy in, I will be able to match you personally with someone that aligns with what you're looking for overall. You really want to allow yourself at least 2 to 3 months to enjoy the house hunting process. Sometimes 2 weeks in, you find your dream home and amazing. Other times, though, you're waiting and you're hoping that something that really fits your ideal scenario pops up. And so you want to make sure that you're not assuming and then you're stuck kind of last minute scrambling and getting into something. So, overall, if Raleigh is on your short list and you are wanting to either buy your first home here, you're wanting to relocate here, you're wanting to downsize in the city, maybe you're even wanting to upsize, best thing that you can do right now is to run numbers, create a plan, create a strategy. So when the home comes on the market that you love, we already got all of our ducks in a row. All you really have to do is then determine how much do you want to offer and what kind of credits are you going to ask the seller to help you with your closing cost. Okay. I will be providing these every month for all of the states and all of my major cities that I am in. So this is my technically my February update, but all of my updates are going to obviously come from the month prior. So I will see you guys in March for your next Raleigh, North Carolina housing market update. See you guys soon.